country. Thanks for taking time out of your Tuesday nights to come to our head office here at DuePoint. My name is Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint, and we're going to be spending the next 67 minutes together in the spirit of Mandela Day, Madiba Day today, right? Not 60 minutes, 67 minutes. That'll be my contribution today. So we have a very special format in line for everyone. It is called Tell All Tuesday, and this format this evening is something that we hold once a month, and we have the pleasure of inviting some wealth engineers up this evening who are going to tell us their stories, their experiences of DuePoint. They would have sat in exactly the same seats as you would have, or would have tuned in on our live stream once upon a time, and we're going to explore their story, their experience of what DuePoint's been, and perhaps that'll answer a lot more of your questions that you might have this evening. All right, so let's begin. Who is DuePoint? DuePoint is a division of a company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa, one of the very few. This is their building in the background, their little orange logo. You might recognize it, you might not. They were founded in 1952. Constantia has been around for nearly 70 years. A very reputable, well-founded business. You're welcome to go do a background check on them. We actually listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange under a company called Conduit Capital. The FSP number that we operate under is that one that you see over there in our foyer above the water cooler. You'll notice we've got all these certificates up on the wall. Go take a look at those. Those are our FSB licenses, our Financial Services Board licenses. We've got a long and short-term insurance license. We've got an investment license. We've got our FSP license. And we also have our accreditation with the direct marketing and the direct selling associations. Credibility is extremely important for us as a business. We want you at this stage of the presentation to start building trust in the business that we're going to be speaking about. This is fundamental for creating any partnership, that you trust the business that you are looking at partnering with. The individuals here at DuePoint, at least the executives and the senior management team, are the people you see up on the screen, ranging from shortest to tallest, best looking to worst looking. Am I right? The individuals on the far left here were all registered chartered accountants, starting with Brendan Benfield. He's our senior executive. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance, because his father is a professor of insurance who's been teaching at Wits for 25 years. So their family have been entrenched in insurance his entire life. Brendan and his brother Stuart carried on in their father's footsteps. They all founded a business called Prime Meridian Direct down the road, PMD, which is a very successful short-term insurer that we all know because they do so much advertising on a daily basis. I'm sure you've seen PMD advertising. I've got a big billboard right outside my office window. So we're very lucky to have Brendan heading up this business. Tim Reynolds, who's controlling the live stream this evening for us, has got a lot of experience in corporate banking. He was with the First Rand Group for a number of years where he reported directly to the board of executives there. He heads up our financial, our regulatory, our auditing, accounting aspects here at DuePoint. Stacey supports him in that role. She's very lucky. She's overseas at the moment in the States on holiday. We've given her a 3-day break every 2 years. But she supports Tim in all the auditing and the accounting aspects. She worked with Deloitte all her working career, locally as well as overseas in Luxembourg, before she came back to South Africa and joined the team here at DuePoint. And then the two good-looking people in the business, Jane and myself. Jane has got a lot of experience in direct marketing and direct selling, because even though we're an insurance company, our growth is predicated on the success of referral or network marketing, right? And Jane brings all that experience to the table. She's from York in the UK, or near York in the UK, so if you speak to her, she's got a Yorkshire accent, doesn't have a lisp, it's not a speech impediment. It's because she's from overseas. Even though she's been here for 10 years, she still hasn't lost the accent, and she's really the front of our business. She's the smile of our business. If you come to DuePoint, that's the first person you're going to meet. Then myself, I've been working in marketing and advertising most of my working career. I did try to do a stint in engineering, but it was far too onerous. Way too many hours of work. I went back into marketing and advertising, which was a lot more relaxed. Well, I thought it was a lot more relaxed. I started a digital agency in the mid-90s when the internet was booming. Remember those days when everyone had a little modem on the table that made a lot of noise? Those were the days when I got involved in internet and digital marketing, and we started this digital agency, and I ran that for about 20 years, close to 20 years, before I exited that business and joined the team here at DuePoint. So when we talk about creating a partnership, even though I spoke about Constantia, the business, really what you're doing is you're partnering with people, right? Because a company is made up of people. And so, again, we want you to start building trust in the individuals that are going to be partnering with you in this business. And so credibility is very important for us. As a mandate, the staff are mandated in this business to support the people that join in this partnership. So that should be a good thing in your books. This is a benefit, right? Because if you join this business, you know that you're going to be collaborating with the people that you partner with. This is fundamental, again, in creating any partnership, that you trust and that you collaborate with your partners in the business. Okay, so that's a bit of background on DuePoint. Why are we here this evening? How many guests do we have in the room this evening? Quick show of hands. Only question I'm going to ask you. Okay, there's 3 of you. Welcome. Let's try again. How many guests do we have in the room? Show of hands. Okay, welcome to the guests. We always prefer to see more guests in the room than wealth engineers. Otherwise, the wealth engineers aren't doing their jobs. But welcome to all our guests. So what is the premise of coming here this evening? I'm sure there are better things to do on a Tuesday night. Yes? If employment was the answer to all your problems, you probably wouldn't be here. You wouldn't. You'd be happily working 8 hours a day, getting home, relaxing, and not having a care in the world. But unfortunately, that does not exist, especially in the economy that we are all dealing with at the moment. Anyone happy with the economy at the moment? Right? It's this kind of strange thing that people talk about on radio and you hear about in the newspapers, the economy. What does the economy mean? What does it mean? Well, I know what it means. It means at the moment, unemployment, retrenchment, my salary not being increased every year, even if it's only 7%, doesn't happen. More likely to get retrenched than promoted. Food inflation sitting at 11%. Interest rates going up. That's what the economy means to me, right? And probably for most of us. It is frustrating because it's an aspect that we don't have any control over. We'd love to change it. Wouldn't you love to the economy suddenly change and suddenly we go into a boom? We've been talking about the economy growing at 6-7%. I think that's just a dream number because at the moment we're in recession. Our economy is going backwards. The economy is shrinking at the moment. We're so desperate to be able to create jobs in this country, but we're only creating more unemployment. And that's why we're here. We cannot trust and we cannot depend on employment to solve our issues anymore. And one of those issues is the 4-letter word that you see up on the screen. Can you see the 4-letter word? It's almost a swear word. It's going to become a swear word soon. Everyone loves this 4-letter word because we get a lot of statistics. We do. We get a lot of statistics from the Financial Services Board. It shows us how much debt South Africa is in. People love debt. We love debt in this country. You are afforded debt at a very young age. The moment you start earning a salary, those credit card offers will come through. That Edgar's card will look very attractive. The Woolworths card even more so. You will fill up the slots in your wallet as quickly as possible the moment you start earning a salary. Debt comes in all kinds of forms. We've got credit cards, like I mentioned, home loans, car loans, personal loans, educational loans. You can buy furniture on hire purchase. You can buy avocados at Woolworths and pay for them 6 months later. It comes in all shapes and sizes, and South Africans will engage in all these various debt instruments probably for the majority of our lives. We will die and still be in debt. Who gets to handle that debt once we die? Do they strike it off the books? They go, that one died, let's strike that debt off. They go, pass that person's children's phone numbers to me. Let me phone and find out who's taking over the debt, right? Debt is crippling to us. It is crippling to us. The average South African only starts engaging in investment or savings products around the age of 50. It's too late. It's too late at 50 because what happens 10 years after 50? Retrenchment. It's the same as retirement, people. Retrenchment and retirement are the same thing. Did you know this? The one you just happily go with, and the other one you're a bit more resentful of. But the net effect is the same thing. There's no salary at the end of the month after retirement and after retrenchment. So you have this day looming down on you, retrenchment. This is an article that was published on the fin24.com website late last year. Tim was kind enough to ruin my week when he sent this article to me to remind me of the situation that most of us find ourselves in. So this is what responsible retirement planning looks like. There are 3 columns over here. Okay? The first column, at the top of each column, is an income amount. The income amount is what you would derive if you had a certain investment in place. So by the time you get to retirement, you want to have a retirement fund or an investment in place that will pay you out when you're not getting a salary anymore. Okay? So if you get to the point at retirement where you've saved R1 million, that R1 million will give you about 5,000 Rand a month in income for the next 30 years. So you retire at 60, you can survive until 90 on 5,000 Rand a month. Can you survive on 5,000 Rand a month? No. You can't. You can't. I saw some article talking about nutrition and food and the cost of food in South Africa. And they said the average family of 4 need at least 7,000 Rand a month just for food. Just for food. So 5,000 Rand is not going to cut it. But now let me ask the next question. Who in the audience is actively saving towards R1 million currently for their retirement? Not even one hand. I think the one person who is too scared to put up his hand because the rest of us are going to come talk to him afterwards. Let's be friends. Right? This is the problem that South Africans face. We can't survive on that, but we're doing nothing to even surpass it. Let's look at the next column. 26,000 Rand a month. That's a better income once you're retired. To be in that position, you have to have saved 5 million Rand as an investment. Anyone under the age of 25 in the room? You've got time on your side. You've got time on your side. You do. Because you can start engaging in this right now. All you need to do is save 4,000 Rand a month for the next 40 years. Why is everyone laughing? This is supposed to be a bad news slide. 4,000 Rand a month for the next 40 years will put you in a position where you've saved 5 million Rand. That 4,000 Rand contribution that you make monthly has to increase every year with inflation. So it has to go up by 7% annually at the moment. And you'll be in this position, and then you can look forward to your retirement because you'll know that that retirement will probably earn you about 26,000 Rand a month for the next 30 years. Do you know how many South Africans engage in responsible retirement planning? 2%. 2%. We've got a room of about 140 people. There should be at least 3 of us in the room that are doing this. Statistically, the majority of us, and when I say majority, I don't mean 51%, I mean 98% of us are going to reach retirement age and still be financially dependent. Because there's not many companies in an economy that we have that are going to go, oh, you want to work until 70? That's fine. You want to work until 80? That's fine. They're already offering you a package at 58 saying, take the package and go. The company is struggling. Companies are in survival mode in this economy. We don't want that for the people that join this business. You've come to this presentation this evening. The person that alluded to some financial opportunity gave you an inkling of hope where you decided, okay, I'll make the trek out to Bryanston to listen to some person give us a business presentation because there was some little bit of hope in your heart that said, maybe I'll hear about something tonight that will potentially change my situation. Take that pain, that financial pain away from you. The pain of the prospect of what your retirement looks like. So out of all of this negativity, the economy, the debt, retirement, DuePoint as a business saw an opportunity to create a platform, to create a system that empowers the average South African to start taking some control over their own income. And so the DuePoint system was designed and it was launched last year in February. We've got 3 aspirations for the people that join this business. 3 goals. Our number 1 goal is to see the people that join this business become debt-free. We don't realize it. debt is such a natural way of life in this country that we think, oh, it's fine to have credit cards. It's fine to have a 20-year bond. Everyone's doing it. It's fine to pay your car off over 6 years and have a 40% residual. It's fine to never get rid of the debt on your credit card. It's fine to get an educational loan because the job market is so competitive, I have to get ahead of everyone else. It's fine to get an educational loan for my children because I want them to go to a good school because I know the work environment is so competitive, I want to give my kids the edge. We have to start thinking differently about debt. You have to get rid of debt in your life as quickly as possible. You need to start hating debt. Hate it. It's our first goal. Our second goal, our second aspiration is to see, once you become debt-free or even before, is for you to start investing in a real investment. A real investment that you can contribute to towards your retirement so that you can look forward to your retirement. Be one of the 2% that look forward to their retirement. And the third aspiration happens automatically because if you get the first two, number 3 happens on its own. And that's for everyone to smile more, to be happier, to not be stressed at the end of every month, to not be stressed at the end of the year when you realize you can't travel to see family in December. You can't get the kids Christmas presents. You can't send your kid to the school that you're hoping to send them to. You've got to depend on hand-me-down clothes and stationery and textbooks for your children. We don't want that. And that's why you're here this evening, because you have that hope in your heart that we can change your situation. But I'm going to remind you throughout this presentation that the accountability is always going to lie with you. We've designed the system and the platform, but it's completely up to you to decide how often you're going to engage with the system, how committed you're going to be, how passionate you're going to be, how much energy you're going to invest into this business. We don't do that for you. That's the part we don't do. So how do you join this business? Well, our guests this evening, if you do join DuePoint, where you contract with us, and when you contract with us, we call you wealth engineers. Wealth engineers, a very appropriate term, and as wealth engineers, you only have one goal, and that's to go out and build what we call channels of distribution. And into these channels of distribution, which are really you introducing people to DuePoint, we'll attempt to place product with these people you introduce to us. And that's as simply the workings of this business. Simple as that. The benefit for you is that you get to create additional income stream for yourself. Now, this is obvious, right? That's why you're here. You want to create extra income. This is the only way you're going to pay your debt off any sooner. South Africans are currently in a debt cycle. You're in a debt cycle. We see the noose getting tighter and tighter around South Africans. Statistics came out just a couple of months ago that said 50% of South Africans that have debt are under debt review. So we all have debt, right? We've got bonds, we've got credit cards, whatever. 50% of the population is under debt review. They have not met their debt commitments for more than 3 months. They have missed payments for more than 3 months. That's half the population. The noose is getting tighter because when your salary is not getting increased in line with inflation every year, your salary is actually devaluing. So how many people in the audience got a 7% increase year on year for the last 6 or 7 years? Your salary is less than what it was 6 or 7 years ago. Do you realize that? What does that mean for you when food inflation is sitting at 11%? Food's doubling in price every 8 years currently. When you have a set amount of debt in your life and you're earning less and interest rates are going up, you get squeezed more and more every year. And we will see more people falling into debt review. Additional income is the only way to get out of this debt cycle. The nature of the income that you produce is recurring. Now, this is an amazing benefit. My father said to me when I was a small boy, 12 years old, I think I was, he said, get involved in a business that pays you when you're sleeping. What does that mean? Become a prostitute. Not saying become a prostitute. My point is, I didn't understand what my father was saying to me at the age of 12. What he meant was, you want to get involved in business that pays you a passive income or a recurring income. What is a recurring income? A recurring income is when you build an asset that pays you every month whether you're involved or not. So if you get into a position where you're able to buy a house cash and you rent that house out, that rental that you get every month is a form of passive income. It's recurring income. You don't have to go build the house every month to get the passive income. You just collect the rent. The income that you derive here is recurring nature. The effort that you put into building this business in July 2017 can pay you all the way through to December. The next year, the year after that, 10 years, 20 years for July's effort. This is recurring income. This is the reason I left my business. We were in a trade, in a services business. We were a design agency. We had programmers, designers, account managers, salespeople, admin staff. Every month we'd have to go out. The salespeople would have to look for business, bring the business into the office. The programmers, designers do the business, build the websites, mobile apps, all those type of things. And then we'd invoice the client. And then on the 1st of August, we started zero. Zero. I'd have to do all of that all over again to make income for August. What happened when everyone went on holiday in December in my business?
No income.
Nothing. We spent 10, 11 months in my business saving up enough of a fund to survive through December and January. I did this for 17 years. At about year 10, did those words ring in my head. Make money while you're sleeping. This was the problem. This is the problem in service-based businesses. This is a benefit you want to take advantage of. We've designed the system that allows you to harness the power of duplication. The power of duplication is leverage. What is leverage? It's your ability to leverage time. So if you can only contribute an hour a day to this business, but you build a channel of distribution of a team that you bring together that collaborates with you. Now you've got 10 people helping you build your business, each putting an hour in. Now you've got 11 hours being invested into your asset that's going to pay you a greater recurring income. This business is Flexi-time. When I first started giving this presentation, I made the mistake of thinking Flexi-time is a great benefit because people can do this business whenever they feel like it, whenever they've got spare time. Oh, I was so wrong. I was so wrong. Anyone can join this business. But if you want to be successful in any business, not just this one, in any sphere of life, if you want to be successful, you have to contribute more than just your free time. You know what happens when you contribute your spare time into something? It's like a New Year's resolution. You want to go to gym, you want to lose weight, you want to stop smoking, you want to do this, you want to do that. It lasts for a couple of weeks and then you forget all about it. This business needs commitment. I'm going to say to you, I'm sorry, but you have to sacrifice time for this business. That's the time you're relaxing after work, watching TV, watching sport, time with your kids. That's the time you need to sacrifice to be successful in this business. There's no way around it. I apologize for that fact. It's something you have to realize. If this is only dawning on you now, so be it. But this is something you have to come to terms with. At the end of the presentation, when I say to you it's time to make a decision, the decision is, yes, I want to be involved in this business, and this is how it's going to fit into my schedule. This is a business I'm going to do every Monday, or every Saturday, or weekends, or every night of the week. Accountability lies with you. You decide. There's no startup capital. There's no registration fees. There's no boxes of products that you need to buy to get involved in this business. We make this business as low risk as possible so that it becomes accessible to everybody. There's no qualifications or experience required. This is financial services. We are regulated by the FSB. We've got 2003 hoops to jump through on a daily basis to keep up with regulation. We contract you out of that regulation. You can enjoy the benefits of being involved in a business like this without worrying about qualifications or experience. You get to build an asset. This is a very important point. Because if I say to you, if I propose to you, come join this business, but you have to sacrifice time. Know that the time that you're sacrificing, you're going to be investing into an asset that you own. This is the antithesis of employment. Most of us are involved in employment, right? We work for somebody else. We're investing a lifetime. A lifetime. You're going to be working for someone else for 40 to 45 years where you have no control over the asset, no ownership over the asset, no profit share, no dividend check. But yet we'll happily spend a lifetime there. This business, you get to build an asset you own. You can sell it one day. You can give it to your kids. You can seed it to your beneficiaries if something happens to you. You can move it into a family trust if you want to get very clever. You've got options on this asset that you're building. There's no selling involved in this business. I think at least the wealth engineer should say, when Rob says there's no selling involved, you all go, yay! It never happens. I get to, there's no selling. That's the first question you asked the person that invited you here this evening. They said, there's this financial opportunity, and you said, what are we selling? What are we selling? It's makeup, milkshakes, vitamins. What's the business? What's the business? There is no selling. We actually contract you out of selling in this business. The nature of our business, because it's financial, we have financial products. These are intangible products. Like I said, there's no boxes that you need to buy. There's no stock you have to worry about. If you brought your uncle's bucky, it's been a waste. It doesn't take up space at home. There's no expiry dates. We make this business as convenient and as easy as possible to get involved with. And this is all determined on you going out and building channels of distribution. And they begin with you. You become a wealth engineer, and what you're going to do is go out and build channels of distribution, which means you're going to go out and tell people about the business opportunity, not the product, the business opportunity. It is the most attractive commodity that exists in South Africa today. Income opportunity. That's what you're going to tell people about. And if you're successful in that, if you're able to bring people into DuePoint, this is the beginning of your channel of distribution. Because the people that you bring in will do exactly the same. And this is where the power of duplication starts to take place. This is leverage. How much effort did it take to introduce 5 people into this business? You'll see it. I'll show it to you. The people that come up on stage, we'll find out how many people they brought into the business. You'll see the value of the asset they've created. This is leverage. This is the power of duplication. Next month, there'll be a few more people in your business, yet you only know 5 of them. This is not a new concept. This concept has been around forever. People have commoditized network marketing more than 100 years ago. A company like Facebook, their success is based on network marketing, right? Their advertising model is based on network marketing. This is all you're going to be doing. This is what your channel of distribution looks like. This is what your asset looks like. This is how you get paid a recurring income every single month. Every dot on the screen is earning you income on a monthly basis. You can be in the position one day. I want you to be in the position one day. In 5 years' time, if you've built a sustainable enough business, you can go away for 6 months. Do we pay you while you're away for 6 months? Yes. We do. We pay you every single month. Diving with dolphins. Making money while you sleep. This is the point of this business. This is why we're here. This business is very different to employment. We need to step out of the employment box. Stop thinking that employment is the only solution. It isn't. Employment will pay your bills. That's great. But you don't want your bills just paid. You want to enjoy life. You want to look forward to retirement. And so we have to do something extra. This is my disclaimer slide. Look at the picture of the ballet dancer's legs and feet. I dated a ballet dancer, so I know what their feet look like. They do. They look like that. It's not pretty. Right? But this is like business. We look at business and we think, oh, those guys that have started their own businesses and been successful, that's easy, right? They must have known someone, or they must have done this, or they must have done that. Let me tell you, if you've ever had the ability or the opportunity to try start your own business, only then will you appreciate how difficult it is to be successful at it. Anyone can open up go to the registrar's office, you open up a business. You can tell everyone, I'm a business owner. But to be successful at it, 95% of new businesses fail in the first 12 months. Business requires all the messiness, the persistence, the consistency. You have to come out bloodied and bruised if you want to be successful in business. If you arrived here this evening thinking, oh, I've been invited to one of those things, some people refer to them as get-rich-quick schemes. We're not one of those. I'll excuse you only once for thinking that. We're a 70-year-old insurance business that has decided to design a platform that you can engage with to start making income for yourselves. Don't make that mistake. I know there are a lot of schemes around the country. It paints a picture of how desperate we are as a society when people are willing to put down their savings into some random bank account because a Russian on YouTube told him to do that. It's not one of these businesses. Also, I'll never promise you success easily or quickly. It does not exist. It doesn't. We have to stop thinking short term. My pet hate is when someone complains to me and says the business doesn't work and they've been here for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Talk to me in 5 years. We have to have a long-term vision for our lives. You have to have a big enough why that gets you out of bed for 5 years, every single day. That big why is what you connect with every day, and that's what makes you think about DuePoint and do the business so that you can get to that why. And we'll all have different whys. And you'll see, the wealth engineers I bring up, they've all got different reasons to why they're doing this business. That's one of those things you have to decide by the end of this presentation. You have to dream. That big dream that you have has to seem unreachable. Unreachable. Don't tell me your dream is to earn 2,500 Rand a month. Your dream needs to be, I want a beach house in Clifton. I want to buy a house for my whole family and my children. Or I want to send my kids to university overseas where it costs R500,000 a year to send them to varsity. That's what the dream needs to be. All right. So that's my disclaimer slide. Let's get on to how we pay the wealth engineers in this business. We pay a base return fee of 27.50 Rand for every product in your channel. Remember the first 5 individuals that you introduced to DuePoint? They lie on your first point. They are 1 point away from you. And on your first point, we actually pay you double the 27.50 Rand. We pay you 55 Rand for every product every single month. Recurring income, remember? Not once off. Recurring income. On the second point, the same story. 55 Rand for every product. And then you see the multiplier starts to drop. Third point drops back down to 100%, and it starts dropping a little bit, all the way to the 8th point. At the 8th point, you're getting 4% of the 27.50 Rand. But what's important to note is that we don't limit you at point 8. From point 8 down into infinity, in theory, we will keep paying you for every product that ends up in your channel. We don't limit you on how much you can earn at DuePoint. We don't limit you on how big your channel can get at DuePoint. Again, it requires long-term commitment to this business. So this is the mechanics of the returns. The next question we get is, well, how much money can I earn after a certain amount of time? So the accountants built this thing called the path to success. It'll give you an idea of how much money you can earn at DuePoint. It is based on a growth formula. The growth formula assumes that a new wealth engineer can bring 3 people into their business in the first month. Not 5, just 3. But every consecutive month thereafter, you bring in another 2. That's why we call it the 3 plus 2 formula. 3 in the first month, 2 in August, 2 in September, 2, 2, 2, into perpetuity. If you can do that, you can expect these numbers, 2,500 Rand after 6 months. Again, never a reaction. We're talking about the money. This is why you're here. Remember? You're here for the money. 2,500 Rand. Does that put a smile on your face? You think 6 months down the line, it's going to be about December? I don't think so. I think you're lying. My first impression when the accountants came up with the example was 6 months work, 2,500 Rand. We need a better example than this. But I wasn't looking at money in the right way. We need to look at it from the point of view of debt, because debt is what is crippling you today, and it's going to cripple you for your retirement. So here's someone with R1 million debt, R1 million bond. Let's say they're 35 years old. They found a beautiful house for R1 million. They went to the bank, got some money. The bank said, you're going to pay us back 11,500 Rand for the term of the bond, which is 20 years. For 20 years, you're going to be paying 11,500 Rand at the current interest rate. Yes? You join DuePoint. After some success, you get to 2,500 Rand a month. What do you do with the new 2,500 Rand that you're now earning? Buy a nicer car. Shoes. Handbags. I see the fancy handbags. Get rid of the banana, maybe get an apple. Right? These are the things we want to do. Yes, when you get extra money, you think, I'd like that, I'd like that, I'd like that. So boring putting money into debt, isn't it? But let's see what happens when you put money back into the debt. If you take that little 2,500 rand, put it into your 1 million rand bond as an additional payment, you'll nearly halve the term of the bond. If you take the bond out when you're 35, you would have to normally wait until you're 55 to finish paying that house off. Here you can do it in less than 12 years. You can be 46 and have paid the house off. It gives you nearly an extra 10 years to contribute that 13,500 rand that you have into an investment for your retirement. That little 2,500 rand saves you in repayments. It saves you 1 million rand. Think about that for a second. You bought a house for 1 million rand, and 2,500 rand can save you 1 million rand in repayments. Doesn't that blow your mind? Blew my mind. I was like, no. The house cost 1 million rand. You're telling me I can save 1 million rand in repayments. How much is the bank making exactly? We need to think about debt differently. We need to pay it off as quickly as possible. After 12 months, you could be in excess of 100,000 rand in annual recurring income. Put your hand up if you got a 100,000 rand bonus this year. Sure. Right, we laugh. In this economy, it is laughable. It's 12 months away. After 24 months, close to 30,000 rand a month. Doesn't matter how much money you earn, extra 30,000 rand a month changes things dramatically at home. What do you do with 30,000 rand a month? What are the options? I'd like to tell my wife to stop working. Personally, I would. We're about to have another baby. I'd love for her to stay at home. Do you think we have the option of that? No, I don't have that option. I don't have that choice. She has to carry on working. 4 months leave, go back to work. Right? This is what mothers are faced with. We are working moms. My heart goes out to them. That gives you options. 36 months, nearly 50,000 rand a month. Here's an example. At the 30-month mark, a 5 million rand bond. You put extra 36,000 rand into your bond payments on a 5 million rand house, you'll pay that house off in less than 7 years. I'm 40 at the moment. It's my favorite example. It gets me my imagination, my juice is cooking a little bit. I think, well, I'm 40. If I get to this position, go buy a 5 million rand house, I can pay the house off by the age of 47. How many people do you know that pay a house off in 7 years? A 5 million rand house, of all things. And then at 47, I decide, okay, I've paid the house off, let me buy another house. So I buy a second house and rent it out. I pay that off at the age of 54. Decide to buy a third house. It's going well, right? Buy a third house. Rent out the third house and pay that off by the age of 61. At the age of 61, when Brendan sends me out to pasture, don't have to do presentations anymore. Retire. I retire living in a 5 million rand house, renting out the other two. What's that, 60, 70,000 rand in passive income? I could sell all 3 houses and buy a 15 million rand house at the beach. These are the options that we need to start thinking about if we get ourselves into a position like this. After 48 months, close to 70,000 rand a month, and after 60 months, a short 5 years, 1 million rand in recurring income annually. I don't think anyone even believes that. Can you dream that? Take a minute. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Think about what it feels like to earn 1 million rand additional income over and above your salary. What does it mean? It's 5 years away. I was very good friends with an Olympic rower. You know, South Africa produces very good Olympic rowers. He won silver at the Athens Olympics. We were in the same year at school. 4 years was like that for him, 4 years. He competed in 3 Olympics. We used to go out. This is when we're 18, 19 years old. This is when you're partying as much as possible. He would not party. He would come to the party with brown rice and eat the brown rice while everyone was partying and drinking and doing whatever. That is commitment. Is 5 years that long to commit? He would finish an Olympics, take a 2-week holiday, and then commit for the next Olympics. Training every single day, commitment, persistency, consistency, endurance. This is based on the 3+2 growth model. Remember the growth formula? 3+2. Can you do 1 person every 2 weeks? It's just an example. This is what the accountants came up with. But we've got wealth engineers that do more than 3+2. More than 3+2. Again, the accountability lies with you. You need to decide what you're going to be happy with. What is your dream? How are you going to get there? Will 3+2 get you there? Or do you need to do more than 3+2? Or is it a New Year's resolution where you do less than 3+2? You're part of the 0+0 club here at DuePoint. It's a large club. It is human nature. Easy to get excited. But to follow through with commitment, much more difficult. And so on that note, we've got our first wealth engineer coming up. Jack, sir. There you go, nice and close to you. All right, so Jack is fairly new to the business. You can see he joined probably in the thick of suffering in January, right? That's when we all suffer the most, is January. After we spent all the money on Christmas presents, you paid for the kids' schooling, they need new uniforms, stationery.
Right.
Tell us about your experience at the beginning of all of this and what it was like.
Thanks, Rob. And then let me first start by, greeting all of you guys sitting here, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, and Rob said, my name is Jack Damu. I'm all the way from Wheatbank. And this business was introduced to me, early in January. Early in January this year. But, I was a little bit skeptical, when my friend, Mr. Mavuma Zega, there, phoned me about this business. When he told me about this, I was in the middle of, like he's already said, in the middle of crisis, I was on the verge of losing my car, through repossession because of the previous network which I was in. I was doing this other network marketing business where I was excelling very good in my first and second year, where I managed to earn more than 28,000 Rand a month. But now, and then I get myself, into debts, as Rob has already said, that is the good weight which we like here. So I get myself into debts, and then not knowing that there were those things which they call the year modes, and then when the year modes kicked in, and then I started earning less than nothing to what I was earning. And then that was very sad, to me. And then I started, losing all my savings, cent by cent, rand by rand. And then eventually Mavuma told me about this business this year in January. And then I was a little bit skeptical. I said to Mavuma, don't play with my, emotions of loving the network marketing business, because he knew that I love network marketing business. And then when he told me about this, the first thing that came to my mind was, the year modes are going to play with me again. And then I said, Mavuma, look, I'm not interested if I'm going to have this, to experience the same, route which I went through. And then he said to me, no, in this business, you won't get that, And then he started sending me these WhatsApp messages, how DuePoint can pay me the 55 rands and the 27.50. And I look at them on the WhatsApp, I said, but this is not professional. I mean, if I'm going to get myself into this kind of business, without any documentations which are, you can hold on to, I'm not going to do this. And then I said to him, Mavuma, give me a little bit of space, my man. I'm just a little bit busy. And he kept on persisting, as he always says, he kept on grinding and then, telling me about it, sending me the SMSs. And then I said, Mavuma, wait a minute. And then in February, he sent me the slides and the link which I went into, and then I got into the website of DuePoint. And then what I saw, it was amazing. And then I said, wow. But, I'm just talking with the website here. I'm not talking to anybody. I need to see this so that I can, have answers, from my questions being answered. And then that is when I said, Mavuma, when can I go to for the presentation? And then he said to me, no. The presentation is in Bryanston in Joburg. And then I said, okay, I'll see you there one day, my man. And then in February, I came to the presentation. And then I found Brandon, presenting in. And I said, this guy looks like the one which I saw in the video. And he introduced himself as the founder of this business. And then I said, wow, that's good. And, I went, outside there, with the certificate, DMA certificate, the DSA as well, and with the FSPs as well. And then I said, this is a legitimate business. I can do this. But then I joined in February, and then I was not that much active because of the threats which I had, from my previous network marketing business, telling me that I can't do other business, otherwise they will take away my shares and everything. And I said, wow, these people actually want to see us broke. And I started doing it, very slowly, not trying to, come up and so that everybody can see me. And, when was that? In March. And I started saying, but why can't I just give it a little bit of a push and see what happens? And then I put some few people in there. And then in April, that is when I said, okay, now is the time. And then in April, I started pushing it. And then at the end of April, when I look in the people on my first point, I had more than 20 people. And then I said, this is the business I'm going to build. And then that, as the numbers, doesn't nice, you can see them on the screen here. So my first month, I started earning 935 rand, and then so goes on. And to be honest with you, this DuePoint business opportunity, when Brandon presented it, and then I was like, if everything that he's saying is true, then it shows that it's gonna work. And then after the presentation, I went to Brandon. I said, Brandon, you talked about everything, how you can make money and the incentive conferences and everything, all the rewards here. But now tell me one thing. You didn't mention anything about these year modes here. And then he said, what year modes? I said, no. What will happen to my second year commission, which I'm earning from this DuePoint? And then he said, there is no year modes here, my friend. You earn whatever you have to earn, as much as those people keep on paying for their products. And then I said, is that true? And then he said, take it from me. And then I said, okay, Brandon, I believe you. Now tell me, you spoke about the incentive conference, because I'm someone who likes to go on incentive conferences, I'm telling you. And then I said, you're talking about the incentive conference, and then when is the closing date? And then he said, what closing date? I said, for the competition. He said, no, this is not a competition. We give you the target. If you reach the target and then you qualify to go to overseas, you can, take the whole 6 months, or take a year, or take 2 years to qualify. It's up to you. We don't have any, they said we don't have any cutoff dates, whatever. And then I said, that is good, Brandon. If I'm getting it from you, if that is the truth, then I'm going to do the business. I pushed the business, and then up to so far, I've built, the good foundation of this business, probably in about 5 or 6 provinces, all over. I've got people, And I always say, there is no I in this business. You can't do it alone. We have to do the business. You work together with your team, and then that is when you'll realize your goals. I've got people from Nelspruit, I know they are live streaming even now when I'm talking to them, Bomam Simelani, I've got people in Pretoria, they are sitting here, the A-team, all the A-team is here, in the house, from Joburg, from KZN, people from Pretoria as well, Pastor Sevilla. We're watching Pastor Sevilla, you must be, get kick-started, So, we've got so many people which I always say, if we work this together, there was always once someone who said, if you get the 3 branches and then you put them together, and then you try to break them, you won't make them anything. But if you take those 3 branches, you break them one by one, you will manage to break them all. So guys, whether directly or indirectly as wealth engineers, we are helping each other a lot. So I'm just saying, let's keep the spirit up, and then let's do the business.
Awesome. I think the why is such a big aspect of this business. Touch on your aspirations for this business. Why are you doing it? What makes you so committed to the business?
The reason actually I'm doing this business is only one, and that is debt. I want to get rid of debt. You know, my previous network marketing business put in me too much debt, and then I want to get out of it. So I'm busy correcting that, and you know, I've got an aim. You know, I was even telling Rob, you know, before the presentation that Rob, you know, actually what I'm aiming for, you know, is to see myself, you know, at the retirement age, not going to depend on the grant which is being given by the government. I'll be much happy if I'll be at the age of 65, and when I'm looking into my account every month, there will be more than 80,000 rand, you know, coming into my account as from the DuPoint. And on top of that, I've got family. You know, I have to think, I was so much fortunate that, you know, I was introduced into these network marketing businesses, and I was, you know, that much fortunate that I was working for one of the biggest companies as well. But now the question is, my children, are they going to be that lucky to have what I had? So if the answer is no, what am I doing for them? So at the moment, I'm building, you know, an asset for them. The business which they will even cherish even after my life, you know. When I've passed, I know I will leave the legacy behind for them to continue.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
for all your commitment. Well done again. Congratulations. So I think Jack touched on power of duplication as well. He's got these teams, and I think he said 6, 7 provinces. But he's only got 20 people that are introduced to the business, although he's getting paid for hundreds of people in his channel. Do you see the leverage? The leverage, the teamwork, the collaboration that's required in this business. Well done, Jack. Okay, so that was the returns. That's what we pay our wealth engineers at the end of every month. But over and above returns, we've got something called the XP Rewards program. If you become a wealth engineer, you will typically start engaging in normal wealth engineer behavior, which is coming to presentations, watching the presentations on the live stream, bringing guests with you, watching the training. When you do these activities, we give you something called XP, which means experience points. It is an indicator of how active you are as a wealth engineer. And when you are successful in this business, i.e. your channel of distribution is growing, we give you rewards along the way, over and above the return that we pay you at the end of every month. So here's the rewards table. If you become a wealth engineer this evening, you will start out as a rank 0 wealth engineer. Sounds fancy. No. Rank 0, but you can get to rank 1 very quickly. I reckon within 24 hours you can get to rank 1 if you really want to, because all you need is 1,000 XP and 4 products in your qualified channel. And when you meet those 2 criteria, suddenly you become rank 1. We're paying you a return at the end of the month, but through the rewards program, you get an extra 55 Rand. You can go buy a half chicken and celebrate on your own. Right? But the more success and the more engaged you are in this business, you'll start to rank up in the XP Rewards program. And as you rank up, rank 2, rank 3, the rewards get bigger and better. You can see 100 Rand, 400 Rand, 1,500 Rand, 20,000 Rand, 50,000 Rand over and above the returns that you're earning every month. We give our wealth engineers tools that make them more effective at building their channels of distribution. So here's Patrick and Pumi at rank 5. They received a lightning memory stick. It's a beautiful little device. That little white device plugs into anything, anything. Cell phones, tablets, laptops, computers, TVs. Apple, Android, even the bananas. But more importantly, we've got our video collateral. All our video collateral is on this little USB stick, so that they can show people what DuPoint's all about, regardless of what device is around them. At rank 7, we give our wealth engineers these luxury premium business cards. To get 1 set printed costs us in excess of 20,000 Rand. But we usually get them made in pairs, and we get them manufactured in pairs. The price drops to 12,500 Rand. You get 1,000 business cards. Why would we spend so much money on business cards? Because when you go speak to people about DuPoint outside of this office, odds are they've never heard of DuPoint before. We don't have any brand equity outside of this business or building yet. This is still early days for us. But when you show someone a 20,000 Rand business card and you say, this is the business I want you to come take a look at, your credibility will suddenly jump up. Suddenly that person will give you a little more time to explain what DuPoint's all about. These are tools to help you be more effective in building your channels of distribution. And rank 9, this is one everyone gets very excited about because this is not a once-off reward. This is a recurring reward. When you get to rank 9, you'll enjoy this every single year with DuePoint. All expenses paid trip, 7 days away to an international conference, 5-star luxury resort with your family, business class flights every year. This is where we're going. Decide if you're coming. Decide if you're coming. You have to say yes to both questions, not just the last one. You remember what the previous question was? Are you going to sacrifice? Right? We are very excited. It's our first Rank 9 conference coming up at the end of this year. Very excited. It is not just an international conference where we take your family away. This is what success feels like. Feels like. It's not a giveaway. You earn your position here. You earn it. Again, the antithesis of employment. Right? You've got to hope your boss likes you. You've got to hope the economy is in your favor. You've got to hope you don't get retrenched. Oh, it's only the top salespeople in your company that get to go on trips like this. This is available for every single person in this room. No excuses. We've already got 3 families that have qualified just this year for Rank 9. The person arranging this trip has already emailed us this week saying, how many flights do we need to book? How many seats do we need? I said, I'm not sure. Everyone in the room keeps putting their hand up saying they're going. Who's going to put in the work? Who's going to put in the work? Like Jack said, there's no time limit to this. We've had individuals do this in 5 months, from 0 to rank 9 in 5 months. Accountability is always going to lie with you. always. At rank 11, guess what happens at rank 11? We hire a car for a weekend and you get to drive it from Friday to Sunday, and then you must bring it back. At rank 11, we spend R250,000 on a brand new car and give it to the wealth engineer. No debit order at the end of the month. Can you see the common thread? Getting closer to becoming debt-free. Getting closer to becoming debt-free. This is early days. This is rank 11. The table went down to rank 20. We've already designed up to rank 28 in the office next door. What happens at rank 28? You keep dreaming about rank 28. But what I want you to focus on is rank 1. You focus on rank 1. You get excited about earning the 55 Rand. If you can get to rank 1, you can get to rank 9. The exercise is the same. It's the same. Nothing changes between rank 1 and rank 9. You do the same thing. You become better at it. Become a specialist. Become an expert. Become professional at this exercise of building a channel of distribution. Another benefit that we have for our wealth engineers is something we do every month called the Wealth Quest. It is a challenge that we issue our wealth engineers. We say, if you can conquer this challenge, we'll give you a reward. You'll earn the reward. And this month it's called the Quest for Quality, where we challenge you to bring 2 new wealth engineers into your business, get them qualified, and if you have 100% BPQ, which means if all the debit orders run perfectly through the month of July for you, you'll have 5,000 Rand in addition to your return by the end of next month, plus 2,000 XP. Let that be your goal. You've got lots of time till the end of the month. Let that be one of your short-term goals that you focus on. We have Mr. Engelbert Matlangu from KZN. He's obviously not here this evening, but he's been kind enough to record a voice note for us where he's going to give us some of his testimony. You can see he joined right at the beginning of this business. I think it was a day or two, perhaps the day after we launched this business, Engelbert joined. You can see his earnings by July. Started out fairly moderately. We can look at numbers where incomes double in 30 days. But let me remind you of this. We all work for somebody else, most of us. We're in an economy where we are begging for 7% an annual term. Once a year, if we get 7%, we're happy. In this business, you have accountability where you can increase your income on a monthly basis. On a monthly basis, you have to look at this long term. Let's hear what Engelbert's got to say.
Past 12 months were very bumpy for me because of a number of factors, ranging from my poor health, being in and out of hospital time and again. I must also admit that part of some poor decisions I've made in the past also contributed to the slowness of things. It took away the focus, the concentration one is supposed to apply in his own business. And life in general is very bumpy, you know. It's an issue of how do you navigate through it. For me, I had my ups and downs, but I'm happy to say now things are very normal. I'm now working on trying to recover the lost ground, and it can only be better from here. I'm very excited. Moving forward, I'm rebuilding my own front line, where I would like to go as wide as I could. I intend wasting no energy supporting those who resist me, and I'd like to build a low maintenance and high productivity type of a team, where all partners in our channel, they know DuePoint more, they understand DuePoint more, they use all the DuePoint tools, and they are independent and fully accountable for their businesses. We want to build strong teamwork amongst ourselves where we facilitate the knowledge thereof of DuePoint as a business. As for my targets, achieving rank 9 is still a priority for me. But if I miss it this year, 28, I know I'll make it definitely. I would not like to achieve rank 9 at an expense of quality and compromise the structure of my business just to achieve it. The road ahead is very, very long. I would like to build strong muscles. I'd like to build a solid foundation to give me momentum to achieve higher and bigger other ranks to come. It's quite strange that I was watching a video at some point in one of our seminars, I think, where we saw that there's still 28 ranks to go. It will take some doing. It will take some architects, some proper building structure to achieve that. What also gives me comfort is DuePoint is a 2-year to a 5-year business. We are hardly 2 years, so it's early days. I think let's lay a good foundation. I believe in DuePoint providing me a powerful, solid retirement plan for me. So I have a good 5 to 6 years, 8 years and beyond to do that. It's very, very interesting. It's very, very exciting. We are all looking forward. I can't imagine or think of anything better than DuePoint, but you got to love it. You got to have the interest of those whom you work with. Let's move together. This we can do. In our line of duty as DuePointers, as we share with others about the opportunity, there are more no's out there. And a friend of mine once said, a no means next one. So do not worry when you see a no. Let's commit, let's focus, and let's perfectify the art of constructing DuePoint. Whatever rank you are, slow or fast, let's do DuePoint the proper way. Let's create a positive atmosphere out there around DuePoint. Let's create a good story to tell. I'd like to mention a few members, true leaders in our team, through whom we so excited and so fortunate to work with. Our small pony, do justice in Free State. Mrs. Moletsani, let's get Matatele talking. Mr. Ngiba, Mr. Mtetwa, our evergreen Mrs. Zimema, we are still warming up in Durban. I want to say to the rest of the DuePointers out there, this is only phase 1 of so many other phases to come. It's early days. True leaders are still to come. I think true leaders are still to be discovered. The road ahead is very long, and all the best. Thank you.
So evidently you can see Engelbert is a cool, collected, but calculating individual. Did you hear the determination? All the setbacks, and he had many setbacks last year. But did he give up? Determination. He has this long-term view of the business, always talking about the long road ahead, 28 ranks to get through, 8 years before he retires. There's enough time. There's enough time regardless of what age you are. I feel old at 40. I'm sure the people older than me feel older than me. But I get very excited about the young people that come into this business. If young people can have this long-term vision, that usually stands out for me. That usually stands out for me. So well done to Engelbert. Carry on. We love his determination. We want to see great things coming out of KZN with Engelbert's channel. Okay. The slide basically explains our business model. Some people come to us and think we're spending too much money on our wealth engineers. And I think maybe the business is not sustainable if we're having rank 9 up to rank 28 in the timeline. But let me explain our business model. So on the left is traditional business model. They engage in traditional forms of marketing, especially insurance companies. They spend a large amount of money on client acquisition. DuePoint doesn't do any advertising. You won't see our logo outside of this building. We depend on our wealth engineers to tell people about the business opportunity. And so instead of spending the billions that the insurance industry spends on client acquisition, like our friends at Prime Meridian, we give that portion of our premium to wealth engineers in the form of returns and rewards. And that's basically how this business model works. We've got 3 products. You'll notice I've been speaking for a very long time. I haven't mentioned products. right? Because you aren't going to be selling. You're going to be speaking about the business opportunity. But these are the 3 products. We've got 3 products. You're welcome to take out one or all 3 products. They have got very different benefits. The first product is an investment product called Access Wealth, 299 Rand a month, of which 100 Rand gets invested into a tax-free investment fund in your name with Sanlam, the biggest investment house in the country. We give you a little bit of insurance with this investment product, 110,000 Rands worth of personal accident cover. If you have this investment in place and you are killed, for example, in a car accident, we will pay your beneficiaries out 110,000 Rand plus whatever's in this investment fund. This is not a notice or a fixed deposit account. You can draw your investment out within 72 hours with this product. Okay, so this is product number 1, Access Wealth, the investment product. Product number 2 is an insurance product only. This is strictly insurance called Wealth Guard. It is 274 Rand a month, but this time you get 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. The beauty of our personal accident cover is because we're not profiling you from a health risk point of view, it is accessible to anyone over the age of 18. You can be 80 years old, diabetic, and you can still take out this product. The premium will remain the same, and you still get the full amount of 1.1 million Rands worth of cover. So this is the insurance product, product number 2. Product number 3 is called the Wealth Points Buyers Club program. This product aims to save you money on the money that you're spending every month anyway. So for 274 Rand a month, you get to engage in the list of partners that we have there. We've negotiated discounts for our Wealth Points members. We are spending a fortune on groceries. We've got a number of retail partners. Shoprite Checkers is very popular. You get 2.5% off your entire trolley at Shoprite Checkers through this program. There's an excess of R1 million worth of buy one, get one free vouchers with the entertainer. We've got Eagle Ford that will promise you the best deal on any car. Not only on Fords, you can go to speak to Eagle Ford. They'll arrange the best deal for you on any car. We've got the other retailers there. We've just signed up a new partner, a data partner called Always On, where we've negotiated data rates at nearly 1/3 of the price. You can get a gig for less than 37 Rand with Always On. They've got 2,500 Wi-Fi hotspots around the country, some of which are super Wi-Fi hotspots, so you're getting fiber channel speeds on your cell phone or mobile device. We are always adding partners to the Wealth Points program. If you're looking for immediate benefit, the Wealth Points program is a great product to look at. So those are the 3 products. Come speak to me if you have any questions about the products. I remind you of the support that you get as a wealth engineer. At the beginning of the presentation, I said the mandate of the staff in this business is to support the wealth engineers. Our facilities that we invested a lot of money in are for our wealth engineers. We live stream out to the entire country every single day. It allows you to go build your channels of distribution in every single town around the country. You can use the facilities, do your own presentations here. We've got wealth engineers that have meetings in our boardrooms, use the breakout rooms. We've got free Wi-Fi, tea and coffee. It is for you. Get plugged into this business. Do not join this business and think you can do it on your own. You cannot. Get plugged in and lean into that support. It'll benefit you. It'll allow you to create your business faster. We're near the end, but we've got a superstar coming up onto the stage. Nkanyezi, come up. There you go. Welcome.
Thank you.
From Boksburg, right? Hey, all the good people come from Boksburg. Charolliss, Tehran, or was she Benoni?
Yeah, all the stars come from me.
All right, so you joined very recently, at the end of March, April, May. By May, 2,500 Rand a month. Certainly you were not happy with 3 + 2.
Definitely not.
Express your experience of this business. I know it started well before your joining date, so tell us the story of joining, your first impressions of the business. Let us know how it all began.
Okay. Thanks to Pumi, who introduced me to this amazing business. But it didn't start off very well. Pumi approached me on Facebook and on my inbox. I wasn't impressed, to say the least. But I listened to her. It went south. It didn't go well at all. So she decided to leave me alone. Few months down the line, I think you approached me in December. A few months down the line, a friend of mine was talking about DuePoint. It rang a bell, and this friend of mine is high up, you know, in terms of education. So I said, if she's talking about this, there must be something good in this. So I listened. I listened and I said, but no, man. Pumi spoke to me about this. And she said to me, yes, actually Pumi introduced me to it. I said, all right, I'm going back to Pumi. As I was speaking to my friend, I was messaging Pumi on the side. Girl, tell me more about DuePoint. She had already told me, but I didn't give her a chance to. So that was my journey with DuePoint. But Pumi said to me the next day, come and have and listen to what DuePoint does. Got on my car, drove here. I walked in at the gate. When I stopped at the gate, I had already decided this was my business. I was impressed by the building itself. And I had decided, before I walked in there, I knew I wanted to be part of this. When I walked in, Rob was presenting the business. I sat down. I was impressed by Rob. I was, you know, when he was presenting, I said, I want to do that one day. I'm very shy. Believe you me, I'm very shy. Standing up here for me is a mission. But what Rob was doing, I said, if I can be on that stage in a few months' time and tell my story. So I looked at him and I said to Pumi sitting next to me, before I even joined, I said, I'll be up on that stage. She laughed at me. She said, join first. So, yeah, that day I joined. The excitement was killing me. I was driving. All I was thinking, who am I going to speak to? I needed those 3 people. Actually, it was 3 people, but I wanted 10. I said to myself, I can do this. I will show them I can do this. I got home, spoke to a few people. All said no. Not even one said yes. A few, probably about 10. I was discouraged a bit. Discouraged. And I thought, and then the next month, I didn't do anything for my business. Nothing. What you see here is literally 2 months' work that I decided. I called Pumi. I said, okay, I'm ready. I didn't even pay my first premium, by the way, because I was very skeptical. I was like, and then like 2 days later, I said, no, I just woke up that day and I said, today I'm doing it. This is in May. And I called DuePoint. I said, redebit. Now I'm working. Now I'm going to start working. And that's how my journey began with DuePoint.
Wow. Well done to Pumi for determination. Very tenacious lady. So what is your experience? You said you only decided to get involved. You asked DuePoint to put you back in, redebit you. Mm-hmm. So skeptical at the beginning, even once you joined, even after you got excited about seeing the facilities. What has your experience been since really getting engaged in May? So what has May, June, and July been like for you?
To be quite honest, it hasn't been easy, but it's doable. You know, if you set your mind to doing something, you can literally you can move the world. I decided, I'd done other networks before, but I said this time, this is mine. I knew I can do this. I sat down, if you take a business and treat it as a business, be the CEO of the company, wake up in the morning and say, I am going to engage my board members. We are going to work. So the first thing that I do, I get up and I speak to my team. DuePoint gives us a target.
Wow.
Not necessarily a target, but they say if we grow at 3+2, you know, and I said to my team, we're not doing that. We are not doing that because this is how I want to grow. You know, I want to grow fast. I want to make sure I teach my team to grow as fast as me. So I said to them, no 3+2. We're doing it 5+5. We're doing it 5+5. You know, I'm not saying people should not do the 3+2, but it's your business. It's doable. If I can do it, Anybody can. You know, one thing I can tell you, it's not about a lot of people. Pumi keeps saying this. It's not about a lot of people. I have experienced it. It's about quality people. It's about quality that you bring in. You know, in my first month, I brought in a lot of people. Not good quality. Not good quality. And I learned my lesson and I said, okay, we're going back to the drawing board. We're going to do this better because I want to double my income, hence the numbers. And this time, I focused on quality. This time, I have quality people that I'm going to get qualified. There's no need of being in the business if you're not qualified. We have people that sit in for 2 months and not qualify. It's only 3 people. It starts in your head. You know, believing in yourself is crucial in this business. You know, I say self-doubt. Doubt kills a lot of dreams before they even begin. So I said to myself, I can do this. I've failed before. I'm not going to fail. This is my stepping stone for my kids' future. I've given myself a target of 3 years to be debt-free, completely debt-free, mean bond, cars, everything paid. So through DuePoint, I've realized I can do that. If I can do that in 2 months, it means we can, you know, we can conquer. So definitely.
Yeah, you mentioned something earlier today that I was astounded at. We talk about the business not being easy. I mean, you said you had an audience of how many people?
I've presented to over 100 people. Over 100 people. Only 2 people decided to take the opportunity.
And you didn't quit?
No. It actually said, I am going to come back better than before. I am going to show people that didn't take this opportunity that it's durable, it's real. I will stand up in the stage and tell them. Today I'm telling them, it is doable, come back. It's definitely doable.
Exactly. That's what you told Pumi in, when was it? December.
Yeah, I told her to go see
Go away.
But then I came back to her because I saw what she was doing and I wanted to be where she was. And I'm getting there slowly.
Yeah, it just requires that persistency.
It's
so
persistence,
do you have
yeah,
a message for your team? We give everyone the opportunity to...
Definitely do. Amazingly, I'm based in Joburg, but I'm growing a team, especially, I'm growing a team everywhere in South Africa. But I'm growing especially in KZN. Zongi, you know what to do, my baby. You are growing, you are coming, you are proof that anyone can do this. You started from zero, nothing. You didn't even have the money to join the business. But you said, you know what, I will find, it's only 274, guys. 274. She said, I will find the 274 and I am going to work. She is rank 3, by the way, today. And she's coming strong. Lindy in Pietermaritzburg, baby girl, you are coming strong. I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. You are a hard worker. People think just because you're a chatterbox, you know, you can do this. It's harder than they think, but keep going. Being persistent. Guys, use the DuePoint tools. You will never, ever go wrong. We have perfect tools in position. As long as you do it the DuePoint way, you won't go wrong. Bangeni, we're coming there slowly. I'm proud of you guys. Hang in there. We can do this. Gauteng, get ready. I'm here. I'm proof that it's doable. I am proof that in just a short space of time, you can do this. Get ready because I'm coming for you. If you think this was a joke, if you see my page going on and on and on and on, this is what I'm talking about. Get ready, guys. We can change our lives. Let's get out of our comfort zones. It's never too late to start. If you miss this opportunity, go back to the person that introduced you to this business. What I like about DuePoint is the fact that there is no stock in your boot. No worry of where am I going to get the 3,000, the 2,000. You know, You're not going to follow people around for money. It only starts with 274, 299. It's your decision. Make the change today. I'm talking to us especially. Us. Women, next month it's August. Yeah. It's our month. Yes. Let's show them. Let's show them in Barota that we can do this. We will do this. Let's finish July hard and start our month better. Thanks, Rob.
Awesome, thank you. Determination. I love your story, especially the part. Speak to 100 people, I got 98 no's. This business requires belief. It requires belief, because if you don't have the belief, 98 no's will make you quit. You will phone tomorrow and say, cancel my product, I'm not interested in the business. And it is natural to be skeptical at the start. It is ignorant to just jump into something and go, I trust them 100%. But we make the business as low risk as possible so that you can make that step without thinking you're going to lose your entire savings to this new business, and get involved slowly. And like they say, you don't have to put in a lot of people. It's just this long-term determination, being willing to say next every time you hear that no. Having belief in yourself and in the system. Where you want to go, have a big enough why. All the parents talk about their children, right? What do the young people want? I always wonder that. When I was young, I just wanted a Porsche. Now my wife won't let me get a Porsche. Have your why. That's when you're the CEO of the business, that's the reason that you're going to think about the business when you wake up every single morning. Is you attach yourself to that why and you go, that's what I want to do. That's why I'm going to phone my team in the morning and in the afternoon every single day, because I know we're going to get a little bit closer every single day to my dream. Thank you. Guys, the decision slide. What did I warn us about at the beginning of the presentation? What is this decision all about? It is about deciding how DuePoint is going to fit into your life. If you really want to be successful at this, how does this fit into your schedule? You have to make that decision along with joining. They go hand in hand. I think yesterday we paid all our wealth engineers. Did everyone get paid? We've got hundreds, if not thousands, of wealth engineers that are earning an additional income out of this business that they didn't have before. The accountability lies with you. You need to decide if you're getting engaged in this business and how you're going to commit to yourself to it. We make joining very easy. We've got free Wi-Fi. We've got iPads in the breakout rooms. If you've got your own smartphone or tablet, you can jump onto our website, click on the blue apply button. You'll be a wealth engineer in 7 minutes. In 7 minutes, you can start contacting people and start adding value to an asset that you own by tomorrow. What business can you start that gives you a return that quickly? We've got merchandise. This is not a profit center for us. Please consider getting business cards. They're on display in the cabinet. The pricing is on the counter. This business relies very much on first impressions. You've got to behave professionally, act professionally, speak professionally, have business cards if you're proposing a business partnership with somebody. The USB stick's very convenient because we've got our video collateral on that. You can plug them into TVs nowadays, give them to a friend, let them watch it at their leisure. It doesn't cost you any data. The black pin that you see in the top left there signifies people that are earning at DuePoint. If you ever ask advice from someone, make sure they've got a black pin on their lapel. Don't go to someone who doesn't have one because they're part of the 0+0 club. So when you get to qualified, make sure you get the pin, right? I think it's 40 Rand. There's a whole bunch of other merchandise. Go take a look at it. We've got a YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. It'll tell you every time we post up a new video, every time there's a live stream. All our training, our interviews, our testimonies are all on the YouTube channel. You can go spend hours in there learning about the business. If you become a wealth engineer, please download the mobile app. It allows you to run your business from the palm of your hand. That app reflects your channel in real time. In real time. You will see when you're making money while you're sleeping. Because you'll wake up in the morning and see someone joined at 2 o'clock in the morning. Guys, I thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the testimonies. If you have any questions, come speak to us afterwards. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Thank you.